Here's your daily dose of history. On this day in the year 1804, Napoleon Bonaparte crowned himself French emperor. How do you do that? Crown yourself. He was the first such emperor in France in 1,000 years. Napoleon, of course, rose to fame as a general under the First French Republic. He came to power in a coup d'etat in the year 1799. Prestige, especially in royalist Europe at the time, was the motivation for crowning himself emperor 5 years later. I dubbed myself thy sir. Just a year later, in 1805, the little general won a victory in the Battle of Austerlitz, considered one of his greatest ever. Also known as the Battle of the Three Emperors, Napoleon defeated a combined Russian-Austrian army, strengthening his domination over much of Europe. His reign as emperor would last just a decade, though, until 1814, when he had to abdicate after losing to a coalition of states, including Great Britain, Russia, and Prussia. On this day in 1930, during the Great Depression, then U.S. President Herbert Hoover asked Congress for $150 million in stimulus money for public works to help jumpstart the economy. Starting with the stock market crash in the U.S. in 1929, the Great Depression lasted for over a decade until World War WW2. All right, put your hands up. How many of you are into extreme sports? And I'm talking about really artery-bursting, adrenaline-pumping kind of stuff. And no, you guys playing tennis on weed don't count, okay? This is right up your alley. This is your ball of wax. Asia's very first kiteboard tour is coming to Asia, in fact to Hong Kong specifically this week. Don't fall in the water, it's kind of chilly. While not so common as windsurfing or wakeboarding yet in Asia, fast becoming popular, and the sport is lobbying to be included as an official Olympic sport just in time for the 2016 Games. Our guest today, Owen Ko, to my immediate right, president of the Kiteboarding Hong Kong Association, and Michael Raper, brand manager of Cabrinha, which is one of the biggest kiteboarding equipment brands. Welcome to you both.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to ask the first obvious question, being a couch potato myself. What exactly is kiteboarding? You fly a kite and you drift along on a board.
Basically, yeah, pretty much. You use a surfboard or a wakeboard, very similar sizes, with about 30-meter lines to a anywhere between 12 and 60-meter kite attached to the kite.
Right.
Basically propelled across the water about the same speed as a windsurfer. You're able to ride a wave like a surfboard. You're able to do the tricks and the technical freestyle tricks of a wakeboard. And the kind of freedom of snowboarding, and the hang time, the just basically jumping off the water like a paraglider.
What, hang time?
Hang time. You're able to hang in the air for between 5 to 15 seconds.
And wait a minute, and you can do all this with a kite?
This is it.
You can do this with a kite?
Yeah, actually, people say it's a three-dimensional sport because it's not only on the surface. You can just jump 20 feet or 30 feet high.
Basically, it's an evolution of all these sports. I think the sport's only 10 years old. It's been evolving really quickly, and we've been able to combine all these extreme sports into one.
I'm hoping, I want to see some of this in action, actually. Oh, there you go. No, wait a minute. You mean I can do the same thing as I can do with a twin outboard Evinrudes on a speedboat dragging me across the water?
It's really eco-friendly. You don't need a speedboat. You don't need the lift passes of snowboarding. You can ride more waves because you've got the kite. You can go instead of having to paddle like a surfboard.
And you don't have to pay $100 an hour either.
You've got a little initial setup cost of between $1,500.
You guys are heroes. You're clean and green.
It's pretty good.
You should get a Nobel Prize, just like Obama did.
It's only it's growing really quick. We're going through a huge evolution, innovation in the development of the products.
How new is the sport?
It's basically commercially, it's only been around for about 9-10 years.
Since what?
For the past 9-10 years.
Oh, 9-10 years.
9 to 10 years. Very, very young.
You want to get into the Olympics by 2016? Wouldn't that be unprecedented?
16 will be, I hope, will be a demo, and 2020 we're hoping to actually get into the Olympics.
It's coming to Hong Kong this week. How many people actually do this in a place like Hong Kong?
Actually, there's around 40 riders from 13 different countries or regions have arrived. Actually, the tour starts today. It's an opening ceremony.
Is there enough wind today?
No, I don't think so today, but tomorrow we will have a good chance.
What's the backup? I mean, if you don't have a lot of wind, I mean, it makes for really bad, makes for a bad day out. Do you have a backup? Do you have a motorized kite or something?
The wind minimum is only about 8 to 10 knots, so it's not a lot of wind. It doesn't need the same amount of wind as windsurfing, which means it's growing in many more markets.
Seems like you could do it. You could get a little help from an unmanned aerial vehicle or something like that.
You could,
if you had a problem. What are the commercial possibilities?
It's it's growing. We've gone through huge growth. Every year we've been building on our existing volume, and we see the trend to continue. I think we've got 57 brands in the sport. Ourselves, we're market leaders at the moment. We're continuing to see forecast growth for an indefinite future.
Right. What are the hot spots? I mean, it's coming to Hong Kong, but it's we still have yet to see whether it's going to turn mainstream. Is it already mainstream in some places?
It is becoming mainstream within Europe and the US. Asia is just burgeoning. We're just touching on the beginning of the possibilities for Asia. Philippines, Guam, Thailand, Vietnam, all of these locations have beautiful resorts, white sand beaches and pretty consistent wind conditions.
Owen?
Yeah, actually the kitesurfing become very popular in recent two or 3 years. It just got a booming. Now in Hong Kong or China, there's around 400 to 500 kiteboarders. But I think in next year there will be a huge increase.
Yeah, we're getting 200-300% growth over the past 2-3 years.
Wow, that's
Definitely.
really amazing.
Asian people generally not huge water enthusiasts, but you see a lot of people now seeing the sport as very accessible, very affordable, and it's perfecly associated.
What do you do? Do you get on the board first and then launch the kite?
You have to come for a lesson. You're going to have to come for a lesson. You basically hold onto a control bar. Then wear a waist harness around your waist, and then you're attached to the board with.
It's actually more of a parachute than a kite, isn't it? Kind of, sort of.
No, it's like it's like a yacht. You're actually able to.
You see that guy? He was booking.
Yeah, we just got
booking.
We just recorded in Namibia last week. We got a 50 knots speed.
50 knots.
So we're motoring.
I can't get that on my Pershing yacht. Not that I have one.
It's a lot cheaper than.
This sounds like a great way to learn how to do this stuff. So the thing I hate about wakeboarding is you got 5 people in the boat watching you flop, and then you got the driver who's like giving out. And there he goes again, can't get up.
Turn by turn, and you look at
You could do this in private, right? You could humiliate yourself in private.
No, you won't.
I love to
pick it up. It takes you 5-10 hours.
You know what? This sounds like my kind of sport. Perfect for somebody in a midlife crisis. Good talking to you both. Okay.
Thank you very much.
And best luck with your Olympic ambitions. And, folks, just want to announce a little programming note. If you could indulge us for a second, be sure to watch Bloomberg Television tomorrow, an exclusive interview with the Treasurer of Australia, Wayne Swan. Yes, the treasurer of a country with great beaches like Bondi, Manly, and the Gold Coast. We'll get his views on rates, the Dubai situation, and, of course, the climate controversy.
This is an essential reform, an essential economic reform to protect economic growth in this country for the long term. We are an emissions-intensive economy, and a consequence of that is if we don't act, we could see retribution against an economy such as ours by many other nations who are acting. It's overwhelmingly in our national interest.
So you'll get a swan song tomorrow morning. Make sure you tune in. Thanks for watching AC. Meantime.
As a Forex trader, I chose Interactive Brokers for my business. Unlike other Forex brokers, they don't mark up quotes. I trade with the highest bid and the lowest offer that IB selects from 10 of the world's largest Forex dealers. With group equity of $4 billion, Interactive Brokers is a safe haven for my money. Interactive Brokers. Forex, stocks, options, futures, bonds. Worldwide from one account.
A private island paradise in Phuket. In life, our choices define us. Some choose a life of adventure. Some choose a life of quiet pleasures and well-being. A life of privacy, security, elegance and comfort, enveloped in natural splendor. For your private island residence, go to phillips-property.com/private island today.
Bloomberg Television, the source.